Hello, my name is Joanna Roy, and this is a summary of my evaluation plan for Adobe Connect Classroom as part of my final project for ETEC 5790. First, let's talk about Adobe Connect Classroom. A program description. What is Adobe Connect? It's a virtual classroom that's used by all University View teachers. There are many functionalities such as webcam, microphone, chat pod, breakout rooms, etc. to create an interesting classroom setting in a virtual environment. Here's an example of an Adobe Connect classroom. This is an example of my classroom from the end of last year. Up here, I have some objectives and the plan for the day. At the bottom left, I have a poster, an inspirational poster, just like if you were in a regular classroom. Next, you can see I have my webcam that I can turn on at any time. I have a place for the students to ask questions if they would like to ask personal questions that they don't want the rest of the students to see. If they go to the lobby chat, anything they write will be seen by the other students, so they can talk to each other and to me there also. This is the attendees pod, which shows who is in the classroom. And this is the whiteboard. You can put PowerPoints here, videos, all sorts of interesting things for the students to see and interact with. And there are lots of different types of pods you can also put. Over here to the right, this is the circle of fifths. This was a pod that I wasn't using at the time. This part to the right here is going to be sort of an area where teachers can put things that they're about to use. The students cannot see anything on the right. So that's just an example of what it looks like. Here are the program goals. We are going to be evaluating Adobe Connect Classroom to see how reliable it is, to see how user-friendly it is, to make sure there's a variety of engaging and differentiated functionalities for teachers to use, and to see whether or not the virtual classroom has a positive impact on student achievement. Here are some indicators and benchmarks that we'll be using during our evaluation. The first evaluation question, how reliable is the Adobe Classroom platform? We're going to look for the number of times the program freezes or lags for each student and teacher, and we're hoping that it will not freeze or lag during live sessions. Reports and surveys completed by teachers and reports from the technology department will help us see how reliable the Adobe Classroom is. The second evaluation question, how easy or difficult is it to navigate Adobe Classroom? For this, we're going to be looking at the number of help desk requests for assistance navigating the programs. We're also going to be looking at reports from teachers concerning student questions and issues about the navigation of the program. We want teachers and students to be able to easily navigate without having to call the help desk. So we're also going to be looking at some reports from the help desk and reports from student and teacher surveys to help us determine this. Number 3, the functions in Adobe Classroom Connect. Do they support engagement and differentiation? And which of these programs are being used consistently by teachers? So we're going to be looking for the number of available programs that support engagement and differentiation. And we're going to have a report on which functionalities are being used by teachers. So the goal is to have a variety of functionalities that will support these things and that teachers will be utilizing all of these relevant functionalities. So we're going to have to get reports from Adobe Connect Classroom of all the available functionalities and their descriptions and uses. We're also going to have to get a report of teacher surveys concerning how often they actually use the functionalities. And the final evaluation question, how does attendance to classes in Adobe Connect Classroom impact student achievement? So we're going to look at the number of students attending the live sessions and the difference in their performance versus from when they attended versus when they did not attend. We're hoping that over 75% of students will be attending the sessions and that it will show an increase in test scores and overall achievement. So we're going to be figuring out what the percentage of students attending the live sessions is. We can find that information from the technology department and the single sign-on process. We're also going to be looking at standard test scores from the Louisiana Department of Education and school reports from the teachers. Next, let's talk about our evaluation methods. For this evaluation, we'll be using both quantitative and qualitative evaluation methods. We'll have a couple of surveys for the teachers and students that include qualitative methods We'll have some open-ended questions and some places for teachers and students and parents to voice their concerns. Then we're also going to get some quantitative data from some of the surveys and also from the tech department and the Department of Education. So the timeline for our evaluation, we're going to be looking at surveys from students and parents twice a year, in December and May. We're going to try to get test score reports from teachers monthly and standardized reports once a year. Here's the budget for the program. I'm estimating about 40 work hours at $35 per hour is $1,400. The envelopes, mail and return envelopes for 3,000 students, so that's 6,000 envelopes would be $180. Postage, 50 cents per stamp at 6,000 stamps, we're talking about $3,000. And copies and paper at about 5 cents per copy, we are looking at $300. So the total budget is $4,880 for the entire project. However, the teachers' work hours, if it is teachers that are already being paid, those are not necessarily additional costs if they can fit it into their normal workday. And that is the end of my evaluation summary. Have a great day and thanks for watching.